As swimmers, team managers and coaches, can I remind you that there are just 2 minutes left of the warm-up, please? 2 minutes left of the warm-up, thank you. Okay, swimmers and coaches, the warm-up is So good morning everyone and welcome to session 6 of the Norfolk County Championships. It's a lovely sunny day outside. Just to introduce your officials for today, your technical director is Mr. Chris Gaylor. Your referees for this morning's session are Stuart Murray and Paul Kendall, and your starter for this morning's session is Mr. Sean Riches. And so we get underway with event 601, the boys 400 freestyle, heat number 1. Referee.
Day 2 of the Norfolk County Championships gets away then at the Olympic pool here at the University of East Anglia. Heat 1 in lane 1, it's Rory Williams for Dereham. Lane 2, Noah Buchan for Norfolk Vikings. In lane 3, Reggie Britcher for Thetford. And next to him in lane 4, Laurie Shearer for Diss Otters. Samuel Bradford takes lane 5 for Dereham. Lane 6, Adam Houston for Norwich Swan. 7, James Hanna for City of Norwich, and in lane 8, Toby Rogerson for Dereham. As they come up to 50 metres, first in is Samuel Bradford, and second Adam Houston, just ahead of Laurie Shearer as they make the return to the 100 line.
So coming up to the 200 metre mark, it is in lane 5. Samuel Bradford for Dereham leading this one. Over he goes at 2:51.96. Adam Houston second, then it's Laurie Shearer and Reggie Britcher third and fourth. So coming up to 3/4 distance now, still Sam Bradford for Dereham out in front. Over he goes, 4:23 dead. His lead about 8, maybe 9 metres from Adam Houston. 6 3/4 seconds the lead. Laurie Shearer third, still Reggie Britcher fourth. Over goes Noah Buchan starting his final 100. And in lanes 7 and 8, James Hanna and Toby Rogerson still dead heating as they go into their final 100. Final turn in lane 5 for Sam Bradford now, 5:07:39. He's on his way back. So having led from the very far, Sam Bradford coming in. His entry time of 6:11. Looks like that's going to take quite a battering. And he comes in to take the heat in 5:48.82. Adam Houston coming in to take second. His entry time of 6:29. Also tumbling to under 6. Third is Laurie Shearer in lane 4. At the touch it is Noah Buchan taking fourth from Reggie Britcher in fifth. Only 3 100ths between them at the finish. James Hanna coming in to take sixth. Toby Rogerson taking seventh. .25 metres to go for Rory Williams from Dereham over the far side in lane 1. Rory coming into the final 5 metres. And he completes the heat. Well done, swimmers. Event 601, the boys 400 freestyle, heat number 2. Referee.
And they're away for heat number 2 in lane 1. Zach Montgomery for Norwich Swan. Tobias Hyam in lane 2 for Norwich Swan. Disotters in lane 3, that's Damien Lemke. In lane 4, Daniel Grimmer for West Norfolk. Austin Taylor, lane 5 for City of Norwich. 6 for Benjamin Tennant of West Norfolk. Joshua Taylor, lane 7 for Dereham. And in lane 8, Charlie Firth for Great Yarmouth. As they're coming up to the 50-metre touch, first in is Tobias Hyam, Damien Lemke, and then Daniel Grimmer with Zach Montgomery in 4th.
So Toby Hyam leading this one, 1:11.81. Daniel Grimmer second at 1:13.44, 1.8 second lead. Damien in third, then it's Austin, Zach and Joshua. Daniel Grimmer looks like he's mounting a bit of a challenge for the lead now. They go through the 150 mark. It is Daniel Grimmer now leading by just under half a second. Toby second, Damien third. Austin Taylor fourth, and then it's Zach Montgomery and Charlie Firth. Daniel starting to pull away now, going through the 200 metre turn. 2:29.64. He's pulled out a lead already of just over 3 seconds from Toby Hyam. Damien still in third. So approaching the 300 metre mark for Daniel Grimmer from West Norfolk. That lead was 3 seconds as they went through 200. Looks like it's grown a little. 3:45.19 for Dan. Toby going through on 3:53, so 8 seconds now. Damien Lemke still in third for Dis Otters. Austin Taylor in fourth. And Zach Montgomery in fifth. But it is the final turn now for Daniel Grimmer from West Norfolk. He goes through in 4:23.38. His entry time for this event given as 5:31.9. Not quite under 5 minutes, but it's still a vast improvement on the entry time. There he goes, 5:00.59. Toby Hyam coming in to take second for Norwich Swan in lane 2. His entry time of 5:49, another one that tumbles. Damien Lemke taking third. Austin Taylor coming in to take fourth for City of Norwich. Fifth going to Zach Montgomery for Norwich Swan over the far side in lane 1. Charlie Firth coming in to take sixth for Great Yarmouth. And Josh Taylor for Dereham coming in to complete the heat. Well done, swimmers.
Benjamin did not swim. He started though, wasn't he? you look along the line, make sure they're full as well.
Event 601, the boys 400 freestyle heat number 3. Referee.
Two swimmers from Dereham side by side. Lane 1, Aidan Footer. Lane 2, Riley Walker. Then we have Matthew Phoenix McGlynn for Norwich Swan in lane 3. Nathan Yeaman in lane 4 for West Norfolk. Findlay Neve, lane 5 for Dis Otters. In lane 6, Isaac Buchan for Norfolk Vikings. 7 for Thomas Garnett, West Norfolk. And in lane 8, Evan Bedford for Norwich Swan. At 50 metres, the leader at this point is Findlay Neve. Nathan Yeaman closely behind, Isaac Buchan and the rest of the field as they're coming down to the 100-metre mark.
So Findlay going through the 100-metre mark on 106.43, Nathan 108.3, and Thomas Garnett now in third, 108.74. .200 metres down, and we can see Findlay Neve still leading, 2:20.04. Nathan Yeaman 2:23.46. So Findlay starting to ease away a little now. Thomas Garnett in third, Isaac Buchan now in fourth, Matthew Phoenix McGlynn in fifth. So coming up to the 300-metre mark now. Still Findlay Neve in front. That gap was just over 3.5 seconds at the 200-metre turn. 3:35.47, 3:40.6, just eased out a little more. Thomas Garnett in third. Isaac Buchan going over in fourth, and then Matthew Phoenix McGlynn just behind in fifth. So 25 to go for Finley Knee. Finley's entry time for this event is 5:06:44. Looks like he's going to be under 5 minutes for that one. That's quite an improvement. Into the final 5, and he comes in at 4:49:20. Nathan Yeaman for West Norfolk coming in to take second. His entry time of 5:05. He also goes under 5. Thomas Garnett taking third for West Norfolk. Fourth going to Matthew Phoenix McGlynn for Norwich Swan. Isaac Buchan taking fifth for Norfolk Vikings. Aidan Futter and Riley Walker battling for 6th place. That goes to Aidan at the touch, Riley taking 7th. And Evan Bedford for Norwich Swan coming in to complete the heat. Well done, swimmers. And so we come to the final heat of event 601, the boys 400 freestyle. Introducing your swimmers. In lane 1, representing City of Norwich, Ben Allen. In lane 2, representing West Norfolk, Robert Addis. In lane 3 for City of Norwich, Jack Abram. In lane 4 for West Norfolk, Nathan Wells. In lane 5 for City of Norwich, Ben Blowers. In lane 6 for West Norfolk, Tobias Oglesby. In lane 7 for City of Norwich, Milo Milton. And in lane 8 for West Norfolk, Nidas Kachenko. Swimmers, you are under referee's control. Well, we've seen a couple of battles so far this weekend between Nathan and Ben. And going over the 50-metre turn, nothing between them. So 100 metres down, Nathan just a whisker ahead of Ben. Third is Jack Abram and Tobias in fourth. Nathan just starting to ease away a little now. 1 second lead. Jack Abram a little behind in third. Tobias fourth. And it's Robert Addis, Milo Milton, Nidas Kachenko and Ben Allen. .200 metres down, still only a second between our leading swimmers. 3/4 distance for Nathan Wells in lane 4 now. 3:06.67, pulling 2.5 seconds clear of Ben now. Third place still Tobias in lane 6 for West Norfolk. Just 2 or 3 metres clear of Jack Abram for City of Norwich in 4th. So final turn for our leading swimmers, both kicking for home now. Nathan leading by 3 or 4 metres over Ben Blowers. Into the final 5 metres, it's Nathan Wells for West Norfolk who takes the heat in 4:11.76. Ben Blowers coming in second, 4:14.92. Tobias Oglesby for West Norfolk coming in to take third in lane 6. Jack Abram 4th for City of Norwich in lane 3. Milo Milton taking 5th for City of Norwich in 7, closely followed by Nidas Kachenko for West Norfolk in lane 8. Ben Allen for City of Norwich taking 7th, and Robert Addis for West Norfolk completing the heat. Well done, swimmers. And now we move on to event 602, which is the girls' 200 metre butterfly, heat number 1. Referee.
And as they enter the water, Olivia Palmer is in lane 1, Jessica Pugh in lane 2. Charlize Harding is in lane 3 for Norwich Swan, and Caris Neil Gourlay in lane 4 for Thetford. Bethany Rumsby, lane 5 for Norwich Swan. Poppy Walthew for Dereham in lane 6, and Daisy Stimpson in lane 7 for West Norfolk. At 50 metres, it's lane 4, Caris, who's leading. Bethany Rumsby in lane 5. And in lane 1, Olivia Palmer in 3rd place at the moment, followed by Charlize Harding.
So going through 100 metres, it is Caris Neil Gourlay leading for Thetford Dolphins, just ahead of Beth Rumsby. Charlize Harding for Norwich Swan in 3rd, then Poppy Walthew and Daisy Stimpson. As so many of our swimmers know, the 200 fly is the killer event. Second half of the race, you can feel the burn. Caris turning at the 150 metre mark, 2:10.18. A few seconds ahead of Beth Rumsby in 2nd. But then Charlize, Poppy, Daisy and Jessica pretty much in a line, all chasing hard. But it is 25 metres to go for Carusneil Goulet for Thetford Dolphins. Don't think anyone's going to catch her. Battling hard for second though. Charlize and Bethany into the final 5 metres though for Caris. And she completes in 2:59.78. Second in lane 3, going to Charlize Harding. Bethany Rumsby taking third. And so the second and final heat of event 602, the girls 200 butterfly, introducing your swimmers. In lane 1, representing Dereham, Lillian Walthew. In lane 2 for City of Norwich, Olivia Dutson. In lane 3 for West Norfolk, Chloe Liddell. In lane 4 for Norwich Swan, Charlotte Smith. In lane 5 for Norwich Swan, Rebecca Smith. In lane 6 for Norwich Swan, Jasmine Coleman. Lane 7 for West Norfolk, Ellen Lauder. And in lane 8 for City of Norwich, it's Sophie Nichols. Swimmers, you are under referee's control. So Charlotte Smith going very strongly on that first 50. Pulling out about 3 or 4 metre lead over her big sister, Rebecca, in lane 5. Charlotte going through 100 metres on 1:08.49. Rebecca 1:12.32. Very close battling for third, Jasmine Coleman and Ellen Lauder. Ellen just ahead through the turn. Then it's Chloe, Olivia, Lillian and Sophie. Charlotte turning for the final time, 1:47.56. Our entry time for this event is 2:22.22. Into the final 5 metres. Charlotte Smith for Norwich Swan is going to take this final heat of the girls 200 fly, and she does in 2:30.07. Rebecca Smith coming in to take second, also for Norwich Swan. Third goes to Ellen Lauder for West Norfolk. Jasmine Coleman for Norwich Swan taking fourth. Fifth in lane 2 going to Olivia Dutson. Chloe Liddell taking sixth. And Sophie Nichols coming in to complete the heat. Well done, swimmers. And so we move on to event 603. This is the boys 100 metre breaststroke, heat number 1. Referee.
The first of 10 heats in the men's open 100 metre breaststroke. Thomas Gittings takes lane 1 for Norwich Swan. Lane 2, Marley Bellamy for West Norfolk. Also West Norfolk, Samuel Tennant's next to him in lane 3. Lane 4, Jake Guy for City of Norwich, accompanied by James Marshall, City of Norwich in lane 5. Lane 6, Lawrence Taylor for City of Norwich, and lane 7, Oliver Veal for West Norfolk. Samuel Tennant, first to reach 50 metres in exactly 59 seconds. In second, Lawrence Taylor. And then the rest of the field closely behind. It's going to be fairly tight at the finish. Lawrence Taylor, a good few metres ahead, but then very tight for second and third place between James Marshall and Oliver Veal as they're coming into the final few metres. It's definitely Lawrence Taylor in 2 minutes and 3 seconds. And very close for second and third. James Marshall in 2:09 and Oliver Veal in 2 minutes 12.37.
Couple of disqualifications to announce for event 602. Heat number 1, lane 1, and heat number 2, lane 1, for a technical infraction. Event 603, the boys 100 breaststroke, heat number 2. Referee.
West Norfolk swimmers in lane 1 and 2. In 1, it's Samuel Liddell, and in 2, Toby Turner. Jacob Jenkins in lane 3, swimming for Norwich Swan. Lane 4, William Neil Gourlay for Thetford. Lane 5, Callum New for West Norfolk. Lane 6, Jack Hibbin for City of Norwich. In lane 7, Benjamin Eastwood for Dis Otters. And in lane 8, Thomas Smith for City of Norwich. All fairly closely bunched together at this point. Coming up to halfway then, we'll see who the leaders are. First, it's Jacob Jenkins, and then William Neil Gourlay and Callum New. Just over 54 seconds. So making the return. It looks like William just ahead, but it's very close at this stage between William and quite possibly Jacob. It's lane 5, Callum New there, just ahead of Jacob Jenkins. It's going to be close, but it looks like Callum just has about a metre in front. He's into the final 5 metres now. And it's definitely going to be Callum. Jacob takes first in 1 minute 50.63, then Callum 1:53, and third 1:56 for Benjamin Eastwood.
Event 603, the boys 100 metre breaststroke, heat number 3. Referee.
Joshua Rumsby for Norwich Swan in lane 1, and another Norwich Swan, Tom Kaiser, in lane 2. Lane 3, Tom Doig for West Norfolk. In lane 4, Rory Williams for Dereham. Joshua Taylor, lane 5 for Dereham. And we have Arthur Cork for City of Norwich in lane 6. Patricus Garalvicius in lane 7 for City of Norwich. And Corey Hill in lane 8 for West Norfolk. Tom in lane 3 then, and 49.75 seconds first to take the turn, followed by Tom, and then Rory in lane 4. Here we are watching closely lane 3 and 4 now, between Tom and Rory. Looking very, very close, closely followed by Tom Doig and Tom Kaiser there as well. As they're approaching the 5-yard line, it looks like Tom Doig for West Norfolk, very, very close with Rory Williams in second, and third in lane 2, Tom Kaiser for Norwich Swan.
Event 603, the boys 100 metre breaststroke, heat number 4. Referee. So in lane 1 we have Jericho Mercado for Norwich Swan, lane 2 Laurie Shearer for Dis Otters, lane 3 Alex Patterson for West Norfolk, lane 4 is Reggie Britcher for Thetford Dolphins, lane 5 Josh Reed, City of Norwich, lane 6 Harvey Appleton Barn for Dereham, lane 7 Zach Edridge for Norfolk Vikings, and in lane 8 it's George Edridge for Norfolk Vikings. Much closer heat. This one looks like we've got about 6 or 7 swimmers all going through the turn pretty much together. Alex Patterson leading for West Norfolk, 47.1. Less than half a second behind, Josh Reed and then Laurie Shearer and Harvey Appleton Barn. Harvey going very well on this second 50. Looks like he's just eased through into the lead now from Alex Patterson. 15 metres to go. Harvey's second 50 looking very strong. He's coming into the final 5, a metre clear of Alex Patterson. It is Harvey Appleton Barn for Dereham who takes the heat, 1:37.34. Alex Patterson taking second. Who's going to get third? At the touch it is Josh Reed for City of Norwich, just ahead of Laurie Shearer for Dis Otters. Event 603, the boys 100 breaststroke, heat number 5. Referee.
And in lane 1 we have Bartosz Mojenek for Norwich Swan. In lane 2, Thomas Trick swimming for City of Norwich. Nathan Ruggles in lane 3 for Thetford. In lane 4, Dylan Guy for City of Norwich. Also City of Norwich next to him in lane 5, Rowan Carter. Lane 6 we have Samuel Bradford for Dereham. Lane 7, George Pike for City of Norwich. And completing the lineup in line 8, Theo Ryan for West Norfolk. All pretty close together at this point, just one edging into the lead, and that looks very much like that's Dylan Guy there. And he comes in on the turn first, just ahead of Bartosz, making the return now in this 100 metres. And at lane 4, Dylan there holding on to that lead that he had at the halfway mark. He's now increasing that lead somewhat, but then it's a real battle for second with almost 6 swimmers in line. This is going to be really close to see who gets second and third here, because there's very little in it. They're all pushing hard now. At lane 4, Dylan Guy touches first at 1:36. It's lane 7, George Pike for City of Norwich in second. Samuel Bradford for Dereham in third in 1:42.
Event 603, the boys 100 breaststroke, heat number 6. Referee.
Heat 6, lane 1, Thomas Arthur Jagger for West Norfolk. Lane 2, Evan Bedford for Norwich Swan. Lane 3, Edward Murray for West Norfolk. In lane 4, Matthew Phoenix McGlynn for Norwich Swan. Forbes Irvine, lane 5 for Dis Otters. In lane 6, Jacob Hurst for Norwich Swan. Chester Gig for City of Norwich in lane 7. Also City of Norwich in lane 8, that's Charlie Hawes. First to turn at the halfway point then in 41.56 seconds is Matthew. And then it's lane 1, Thomas, followed by Edward in lane 3 for West Norfolk. But certainly out in front now, it looks like Matthew Phoenix Begin well ahead of any of the competition. And just like the previous race, it looks like we have a battle on for second place with 4 swimmers, 5 possibly in a line. This, again, another close second place, but without any doubt, it's Matthew for Norwich Swan, who certainly is first, well ahead of the rest of the field. Then it's Forbes Irvine by the look of it, but yes, it is really close. And Jacob Hurst for Norwich Swan comes in third.
Event 603, the boys 100 breaststroke, heat number 7. Referee.
This could prove to produce a good time. Lane 1, Thomas Ellis for Dereham. Lane 2, Oscar Harris for Thetford. In lane 3, James Clark for City of Norwich. Lane 4, Maximilian Yashak for Thetford. Benjamin Tennant in lane 5 for West Norfolk. Tyler Stone, lane 6 for City of Norwich. Harvey Lee Harris in lane 7 for Great Yarmouth. And Tobias Hyam in lane 8 for Norwich Swan. Said it was going to be quick, and they're almost up to the halfway point already. And in the lead we have Thomas Ellis for Dereham, just ahead of Maximilian Yashak. And this is where they'll be putting all their effort into the final 25 meters. And it's hard to call on this one, but it does look like Thomas might just have held on to that slight lead he had at the halfway mark as they're coming up to the last 5 meters now. Thomas is getting challenged by Tyler. It's touch and go. Oh, look at that. 0.5 of a second between first and second. Tyler Stone just does it by 0.5 of a second ahead of Thomas Ellis for Dereham. In third then it was Maximilian Yashak for Thetford. What a good race. Well done, swimmers.
Event 603, the boys 100 breaststroke, heat number 8. Referee.
Heat 8 underway. Lane 1, Lock Yates for City of Norwich. Lane 2, Damien Lemke for Disarters. 3, Jack McIntosh for City of Norwich. 4, Rhys Burrell for West Norfolk. In lane 5, Harvey Durham for Thetford. 6, Finley Arnott for Norwich Swan. 7, Leonardo White for City of Norwich. And Jack Tattersall completes the lineup in line 8 for Dereham.
So going through the 50-metre turn, Harvey Dunham for Thetford Dolphins, 36.24. Just a whisker ahead of Rhys Burrell second, Lock Yates in third. Reese and Harvey almost matching each other stroke for stroke. 15 metres to go. Reese just by maybe half a metre. Lock Yates over the far side in lane 1 in third, but into the final 5 it's going to be Reese Burrell for West Norfolk taking the heat in 1:17.81. Harvey Dunham taking second, Lock Yates third, and Finley Arnott taking fourth. Event 603, the boys 100 breaststroke, heat number 9. Referee.
Lane 1, Finley Neve for Dis Otters. Lane 2, Austin Everett for Norwich Swan. Sean Diggins, lane 3 for Great Yarmouth. Archie Holman, lane 4 for West Norfolk. Max Davies Haywood in lane 5 for City of Norwich. Ethan Harris, lane 6 for Thetford. In lane 7, William Rumsby for City of Norwich. And Henry Mann for Norwich Swan in lane 8. Almost at the halfway mark. And as they turn at 50 metres, first it's Sean Diggins, followed by Archie, and then Max in third.
Have another disqualification announcement for you. Event 603, heat 1, lane 1 for a technical infraction.
Another exciting finish coming up here with them all jockeying for position, giving it all they've got for the final push in the final 5 metres. It looks very much like Max's race. Max touches in first at 1:15, followed by Sean for Great Yarmouth, and third Austin Everett for Norwich Swan.
And so we move on to the final heat of event 603, the boys 100 breaststroke. Introducing your swimmers. In lane 1, representing Norwich Swan, Henry Dyke. In lane 2 for City of Norwich, Finley Ball. In lane 3 for Norwich Swan, Lewis Andrews. In lane 4 for West Norfolk, Alex Florence. In lane 5 for Norwich Swan, James Noble. Lane 6 for City of Norwich, Ben Buckley. Lane 7 for Norwich Swan, Louis James. And in lane 8 for Thetford Dolphins, Sam Rush. Swimmers, you are under referee's control. So fairly even, heading away from us to the 50-metre turn. And through the turn it is Lewis Andrews in lane 3 for Norwich Swan from Finley Paul and Louis James. Ben Buckley finishing very strongly in lane 6, coming through to challenge Louis for the lead. Into the final 5 it is Ben Buckley for City of Norwich, takes it in 1:11.47. Louis James for Norwich Swan taking second. Third is Lewis Andrews, also for Norwich Swan. And now we move on to event 604, which is the girls' 50-metre butterfly. Heat number 1, referee.
The first of 10 heats in the open 50-metre butterfly. In lane 3, we have Freya Reid for Dis Otters. Lane 4, Faith Turner for West Norfolk. And in lane 5, Polly Anderson for West Norfolk. They just made the 25-metre point. And it looks like Faith Turner just in front.
So Faith Turner just leading by half a metre from Freya Reid coming into the final 5. And at the touch it is Faith Turner for West Norfolk taking the heat, Freya Reid second and Polly Anderson third. Well done swimmers. Event 604, the girls 50-metre butterfly, heat number 2. Referee.
Seven swimmers in the lineup for Heat 2. Catherine Mitchell for Great Yarmouth in lane 1. Next to her in lane 2, Emily Howarth for Great Yarmouth. Lane 3, Charlotte Rook for City of Norwich. And swimming in lane 4, Shannon Taylor for Thetford. Lane 5, Eloise Collins for West Norfolk. Lane 6, Sophia Stosic for Norwich Swan. And lane 7, Florence Collinson for West Norfolk. They're in the final 10 metres.
Another close heat, but at the touch it is Charlotte Rook who takes it from Sophia in second and Eloise in third. Event 604, the girls 50 butterfly, heat number 3. Referee.
All 8 lanes now for Heat 3. Lane 1, Ella Townsend for Dis Otters. Lane 2, Edie Church for Norwich Swan. 3, Olivia Haddock for West Norfolk. 4, Mia Edwards for Norwich Swan. Emma Dye for Norwich Swan in lane 5. Olivia Hopkins, Norwich Swan, lane 6. Millie Johnson, lane 7 for West Norfolk. And completing the lineup, Beatrice Green in lane 8 for Dereham. They're now approaching the final 10 metres.
Emma Dye for Norwich Swan just ahead coming into the touch, and she takes the heat in 40.11. Second going to Ella Townsend, third to Olivia Haddock. Event 604, the women's 50 butterfly, heat number 4. Referee.
Another full field of swimmers for Heat 4. Lane 1, Kyla Dolliston for Dis Otters. Lane 2, Chloe Jackson for Norfolk Vikings. 3 for Olivia Butlin for Thetford. Lily Colborne, Lane 4, Norwich Swan. Lane 5, Anastasia Wall for Dereham. Lane 6, Anika Muller for City of Norwich. Jennifer Martle, Lane 7 for City of Norwich. And in Lane 8, Ruby Jackson for West Norfolk.
So Olivia going very strongly in lane 3. She's leading coming into the touch, and she takes the heat in 38.02. Second going to Kyla Dulliston, and third for Lily Colborne. Event 604, the girls 50 butterfly, heat number 5. Referee.
Heat 5, Jessica Pugh for Norwich Swan in lane 1, Bella Ringwood for West Norfolk, lane 2, Tiffany Clucas for Thetford in lane 3, Mia Gray for Norwich Swan in lane 4, lane 5, Caitlin Campbell-Kelly for City of Norwich, Lila Addison, lane 6 for Norwich Swan, Grace Cook for Dis Otters in lane 7, and in lane 8, Charlie Hill for West Norfolk. Down to the last 10 metres.
Mia Gray going very strongly indeed for Norwich Swan in lane 4. Into the final 5, she's going to take the heat. She does in 34.68. Second going to Caitlin Campbell-Kelly, and third for Isla Addison. Event 604, the girls 50 butterfly, heat number 6. Referee.
Lane 1, Verity Morrison for City of Norwich. Rebecca Davey, lane 2 for Norwich Swan. Holly Gilbertson, City of Norwich in lane 3. Lane 4, Olivia Greenall for Great Yarmouth. Sienna Gilman in lane 5 for Norwich Swan. Lane 6, Sophie Nichols for City of Norwich. Bethany Rumsby, lane 7 for Norwich Swan. And also Norwich Swan, Lily Morell in lane 8. Down to the final few metres.
And Olivia Greenall for Great Yarmouth in lane 4, clear as she comes in to take the heat in 33.38. Second going to Lily Murrell, and third Rebecca Davey.
Another disqualification for a technical infraction. Event number 604 in heat 2, lane number 4.
Event 604, the girls 50 butterfly, heat number 7. Referee.
Lane 1, Evie Greenhalgh for City of Norwich. 2, Beatrix Baldwin for Norwich Swan. In lane 3, it's Lilia Burgoyne for Great Yarmouth. Rhea Davies Haywoods for City of Norwich in lane 4. Hannah Twells for Thetford, lane 5. In 6, Emily Pitcher, Norwich Swan. Ellen Lauder, West Norfolk in lane 7. And in lane 8, Charlize Harding for Norwich Swan. Here we go then, down to the last metres.
And at the touch it is Emily Pitcher for Norwich Swan in lane 6, completing in 31.78. Second goes to Hannah Twells. Valentina Davis Hayward taking third. Event 604, the girls 50 butterfly, heat number 8. Referee.
Lane 1, Isla Hamilton for Norwich Swan. 2, Chloe Liddell for West Norfolk. 3 is Jasmine Coleman for Norwich Swan. Olivia Dutson in lane 4 for City of Norwich. Daisy Mixer for Norwich Swan in lane 5. And Sophia Thomas at Norwich Swan lane 6. In lane 7, Lillian Wolfew for Dereham. Lane 8, Grace Marshall for City of Norwich. A quick race, a final 10 metres.
Isla Hamilton looks like she might just be edging this one from Jasmine Coleman, maybe not. At the touch it is Jasmine who takes it, Isla taking second, third going to Daisy Mixer. Event 604, the girls 50 butterfly, heat number 9. Referee.
Heat 9, lane 1, Amy Dickerson for Thetford. Lane 2, Juliana Mercado for Norwich Swan. Amara Addison, lane 3 for Norwich Swan. Lane 4, it's Emily Passon for Dereham. 5, Leah Harris for Norfolk Vikings. 6, Rebecca Smith for Norwich Swan. Lane 7, Tabitha Payne for Thetford. And at lane 8, Caterina Di Maria for City of Norwich.
So Amara Addison in lane 3, very strong into the final 5 metres. She's going to take the heat, and she does in 30.21. Second going to Rebecca Smith, and third to Emily Passon. And so we come to the final event of event 604, the women's 50 fly, introducing your swimmers. In lane 1, representing Norwich Swan, Ellie Rose Lyon. In lane 2 for Norwich Swan, Ruby Coyle. In lane 3 for City of Norwich, Eve Park. In lane 4 for Norwich Swan, Charlotte Smith. In lane 5 for City of Norwich, Ruby Greenhalgh. In lane 6 for City of Norwich, Emily Haslam. In lane 7 for West Norfolk, Sarah O'Brien. And in lane 8 for City of Norwich, Lily MacDonald. Swimmers, you are under referee's control. So in lane 4, Charlotte Smith just easing ahead, going past the halfway mark. Also going well, Ellie Rose Lyon over the far side in lane 1. Into the final 5 it is going to be Charlotte Smith who takes the heat. Who gets second? Charlotte goes 29.08, second going to Ellie Rose Lyon, third to Ruby Greenhalgh. And so we move on to event 605, which is the boys 50 backstroke, heat number 1. Referee.
Five swimmers in this lineup. Lane 2, Marley Bellamy for West Norfolk. Lane 3, Sebastian Burks for Norwich Swan. Lane 4, Toby Turner for West Norfolk. Lane 5, Teddy Elmore for City of Norwich. And Lane 6, Thomas Smith for City of Norwich. We're about 25 metres down, and there's not a great deal separating them at the moment.
So fairly close between lanes 2, 3 and 4. Marley, Sebastian and Toby for this one. Looks like Toby might just be edging it for West Norfolk in lane 4 into the final 5 metres. And at the touch it is Toby Turner takes it 47.31. Second going to Marley Bellamy. Sebastian taking third. Event 605, the boys 50 backstroke, heat number 2. Referee.
Heat number 2, lane 1, Lawrence Taylor for City of Norwich. David Pavlov in lane 2 for City of Norwich next to him. And completing a trio for City of Norwich, Ricardo Di Maria in lane 3. Lane 4 is Roman Joseph for Dis Otters. Lane 5, Samuel Liddell for West Norfolk. Oliver Veal in lane 6 for West Norfolk. And then Arthur Cork in lane 7 for City of Norwich, with Jack Hibbin for City of Norwich in lane 8.
And it is lane 1, Lawrence Taylor for City of Norwich leading this one into the final 5. Looks like it's lane 4 second, but at the touch it is Lawrence who takes it in 43.96. Roman Joseph taking second, David Pavlov taking third. Event 605, the boys 50 backstroke, heat number 3. Referee.
Jake Maguire for City of Norwich in lane 1. Next to him, Benjamin Eastwood. Lane 2 for Dis Otters. Lane 3, Callum New for West Norfolk. In lane 4, Noah Buchan for Norfolk Vikings. Lane 5, Archie Solomon for City of Norwich. Lane 6, Alexander Pattison for West Norfolk. In lane 7, Jericho Mercado for Norwich Swan. And lane 8, Tobias Anderson completes a lineup for City of Norwich.
And it is Callum New in lane 3 for West Norfolk leading this one just ahead of Jake Maguire as they come into the final 5. Very close at the touch, but it does look like it is Callum New who takes it. Jake Maguire taking second. And Ben Eastwood taking third. Event 605, the boys 50 backstroke, heat number 4. Referee.
In lane 1, Thomas Elston for West Norfolk. Lane 2, Jacob Jenkins for Norwich Swan. Lane 3, James O'Toole for City of Norwich. Lane 4, Theo Ryan for West Norfolk. Lane 5, Enzo Casanica for City of Norwich. Lane 6, Patricus Garalavikis for City of Norwich. Lane 7, Rory Williams for Dereham. And lane 8, Bartosz Mozinek for Norwich Swan.
So lane 4, Theo Ryan going very strongly, coming into the final 5, and he takes it in 40.38. Second going to Jacob Jenkins, and third, James O'Toole. Event 605, the boys 50 backstroke, heat number 5. Referee.
Swimming away in lane 1, Sid Jones for City of Norwich. Lane 2, Edward Ullman for Thetford. Lane 3, Forbes Irvine for Dis Otters. In lane 4, Michael Sayer for Norfolk Vikings. And in 5, Oliver Warren for Norwich Swan. Swimming in lane 6, Thomas Arthur Jagger for West Norfolk. Lane 7, Ewan Hammond for City of Norwich. And in lane 8, Reggie Britcher for Thetford.
Edward Allman, fourth for Dolphins, going very strongly into the final 5. Looks like he's just leading from Michael Sayer. And at the touch it is Edward who takes it. Michael taking second. Third going to Thomas Arthur Jagger. Event 605, the boys 50 backstroke, heat number 6. Referee.
Lane 1, Christian Payne for Thetford. 2, Dylan Guy for City of Norwich. Archie Harris-Joy in lane 3 for Great Yarmouth. In lane 4, Benjamin Tennant for West Norfolk. Harvey Lee Harris in lane 5 for Great Yarmouth. Lane 6, Richard Farrer for City of Norwich. 7, Joshua Taylor for Dereham. And in lane 8, Rowan Carter for City of Norwich.
So Christian Payne in lane 1 going very well. Also in lane 6, Richard Farrer for City of Norwich. Into the final 5, it's going to be Christian who takes it, 37.39. At the touch, it is second for Archie Harris-Joy and Ben Tennant for third. Event 605, the boys 50 backstroke, heat number 7. Referee.
Heat 7, Lane 1, Nathan Ruggles for Thetford. Lane 2, Kieran Nelson for Great Yarmouth. Lane 3, Matthew Phoenix McGlynn for Norwich Swans. In Lane 4, Noah Blair for Dis Otters. Tobias Hyam is in Lane 5 for Norwich Swan. Adam Houston, Norwich Swan in Lane 6. And Norwich Swan, Evan Bedford in Lane 7. And Lane 8, Jan Beblett for Great Yarmouth.
So Matthew Phoenix McGlynn and Toby Hyam battling for this one in lanes 3 and 5. Also going well, Jan Beblo. But it is Matthew who takes it. At the touch, Jan Beblo taking second and Toby taking third. Event 605, the boys 50 backstroke heat number 8. Referee.
Harvey Durham in Lane 1 for Thetford. Lane 2, Nathan Yeaman for West Norfolk. In Lane 3, Jack Tate for City of Norwich. Lane 4, Ethan Harris for Thetford. 5, Alexander Patterson for City of Norwich. James Clark in Lane 6 for City of Norwich. Lane 7, Isaac Buchan for Norfolk Vikings. Lane 8, Thomas Ellis for Dereham. They're coming up to the final 10-metre mark.
Lanes 4 and 5 battling hard. Jack McIntosh and Travis Flotman. Looks like Travis might just be edging it. Daniel Grimmer also going well. Event 605, the boys 50 backstroke heat number 9. Referee.
Heat 9 then, Lane 1, Harvey Durham for Thetford. Lane 2, Nathan Yeaman for West Norfolk. Jack Tate in Lane 3 for City of Norwich. 4, Ethan Harris for Thetford. In Lane 5, Alexander Patterson for City of Norwich. James Clark, City of Norwich in Lane 6. Lane 7, it's Isaac Buchan for Norfolk Vikings. And Lane 8, Thomas Ellis for Dereham.
Very close this one. Looks like Ethan Harris just edging it in lane 4 from Nathan Yeaman and Harvey Durham coming into the touch. And that's the 1, 2, 3. Ethan, Nathan and Harvey. Event 605, the boys 50 backstroke heat number 10. Referee.
Oscar Hunter in lane 1 for Norwich Swan. Lane 2, Thomas Garnett for West Norfolk. Nedus Chachenko for West Norfolk in lane 3. Benedict Measures, lane 4 for Thetford. Henry Dyke, Norwich Swan for lane 5. Lane 6, John Barber, Dis Otters. Lane 7, Iron Peacock, Thetford. And lane 8, William Rumsby for City of Norwich. Here they come up to the line.
Very close, this one. 3 or 4 swimmers all coming in together. Looks like it's going to be between Thomas and Ben. And at the touch it is Thomas Garnett who takes it. Ben Measures taking second. Third going to Nedus Chachenko. Event 605, the boys 50 backstroke, heat number 11. Referee.
Reese Burrell for West Norfolk in lane 1. Archie Holman, West Norfolk in lane 2. Thomas Small for Norwich Swan, lane 3. Lane 4, Jake Lammas for West Norfolk. Lane 5, Lewis Andrews for Norwich Swan. Lane 6, Max Davis Hayward for City of Norwich. Harrison Smith in 7 for West Norfolk. And Harvey Isle for West Norfolk in lane 8. This is going to be close.
Very close indeed. This one looks like it's going to be Thomas Small for Norwich Swan who takes it, and he does in 30.99. Second going to Max Davis Hayward, and Lewis Andrews takes third. Event 605, the boys 50 backstroke, heat number 12. Referee.
Lane 1, Ben Allen for City of Norwich. In 2, Robert Addis for West Norfolk. Lane 3, Matthew Tatum for Dis Otters. Davesh Kapoor for City of Norwich in lane 4. Lane 5, Charlie Barrett for City of Norwich. Lane 6, Ben Woodhouse for Norwich Swan. Lane 7, Freddie Laws for West Norfolk. And Castle Galindez in lane 8 for City of Norwich.
And it is Matthew Tatum in lane 3 going to take the heat. He comes in to complete in 30.16. Second going to Ben Allen, and third to Devish Kapoor. And so we move on to the final heat of event 605, the boys 50 backstroke. Introducing your swimmers. In lane 1 for City of Norwich, in lane 1 for Norwich Swan, Manuka Jaya Cody. In lane 2 for City of Norwich, Jack Eden. In lane 3 for Dereham, Charlie Summer. In lane 4 for West Norfolk, Nathan Wells. In lane 5 for City of Norwich, Joseph McGillivray. In lane 6 for West Norfolk, Tobias Oglesby. In lane 7 for City of Norwich, Joe Hammond. And in lane 8 for West Norfolk, Sam Rose. Swimmers, you are under referee's control. So lane 4, Nathan Wells out in front at the moment, just by half a metre or so from Charlie Summer and Joseph McGillivray. Manuka going well over the far side in lane 1, but at the touch it is Nathan Wells who takes it. Tobias Oglesby taking second and Joe McGillivray taking third. And so we move on to event 606, which is the girls' 200 metre individual medley, heat number 1. Referee.
So heat 1 in the 200 metres, Ellen Beckwith is in lane 2 for Thetford, Olivia Wicks lane 3 for Norwich Swan, in lane 4 Lexi Johns for City of Norwich, in lane 5 Mwaba Mkwasa for Norwich Swan, lane 6 Olivia Butlin for Thetford, and in lane 7 Florence Collinson for West Norfolk. And after 50 metres, we're seeing Olivia for Thetford's leading Mwaba, who's in lane 5, and then Ellen Beckwith in lane 2, as they're coming back to complete the first 100.
And just for any swimmers or team managers or officials information, we have had an item of lost property handed in. It is a black Fitbit, so if you have lost one, please let us know up here and come and claim it. So on to the individual medley, 200 metres, one length of each stroke. Fly first, followed by the backstroke, moving on to the breaststroke and finishing with the front crawl or the freestyle. Olivia Butlin for Thetford Dolphins leading this one as she goes through onto the breaststroke, 1:37.62. 2 seconds ahead of Olivia Wicks in second and Florence Collison in third. So going through the 150 metre mark onto the freestyle. Florence Collison just ahead by 0.2 from Olivia Butlin second. Ellen Beckwith now in third. Very close between our swimmers in lane 6 and 7. Looks like Olivia's just edging it at the moment for Thetford Dolphins. 10 metres to go and she's managed to pull out a lead of about 1.5 metres, so it will be Olivia Butlin who takes the heat. Olivia's entry time 3:43.78, so that takes a bashing. Florence coming in to take second, Olivia Wicks in third. Ellen Beckwith taking fourth for Thetford. Fifth goes to Lexi Johns. And Mwaba Mkwasa for Norwich Swan coming in to complete the heat. Well done, swimmers. Event 606, the girls 200 individual medley, heat number 2. Referee.
Here's the lineup for Heat 2. In Lane 1, we have Millie Johnson for West Norfolk, Jessica Pugh in Lane 2 for Norwich Swan. Next to her in Lane 3, Lily Colborne for Norwich Swan. Lane 4, Charlie Hill for West Norfolk. Lane 5, Shannon Taylor for Thetford. Lane 6, Emma Dye for Norwich Swan. Mia Edwards, Lane 7 for Norwich Swan. And in Lane 8, Emily Dwight for City of Norwich.
And it looks like Millie Johnson for West Norfolk going very strongly in Lane 1. She completes the butterfly leg in first, 42.09. Lily Colborne second, Charlie Hill in third, and Jessica Pugh in fourth. All separated by just over 2 seconds. So approaching the 100 metre mark on the backstroke, it is still in Lane 1, Millie Johnson for West Norfolk, but being overhauled by Jessica Pugh for Norwich Swan going into the turn. Millie just holding that lead by half a second. Third at the turn is Lily Colborne, then Emma Dye and Charlie Hill onto the breaststroke. Now we can see Jessica Pugh pulling clear in Lane 2. Lily Colborne for Norwich Swan also coming through now to challenge Millie for second. Going down to the final stroke change. Jessica Pugh for Norwich Swan out in front now. She turns on 2:24.8. Lily Colborne 2 seconds behind. Onto the freestyle. Then it's Millie and Charlie Hill now in fourth, Emma Dye fifth, and Shannon Taylor in sixth. Jessica Pugh in Lane 2, a couple of metres clear. She's starting to come under a little pressure from Lily Colborne, but I don't think Lily's going to do it. Millie Johnson for West Norfolk in Lane 1 in third, being pressured by Charlie Hill for West Norfolk. But into the final 5, it's Jessica Pugh for Norwich Swan who takes it in 3:07.13. Second goes to Lily Colborne, also for Norwich Swan. Very close for third, but the honours go to Charlie Hill for West Norfolk. Event 606, the girls 200 individual medley, heat number 3. Referee.
Lane 1, Chloe Jackson for Norfolk Vikings. Eloise Collins, Lane 2 for West Norfolk. Swimming in Lane 3, Daisy Stimpson for West Norfolk. Jade Reed in Lane 4 for City of Norwich. Emily Howlett, Lane 5 for Norwich Swan. Astrid Smither, Lane 6, Norwich Swan. And Lane 7, Verity Hamilton, Norwich Swan. And in Lane 8, Olivia Palmer for City of Norwich.
So through the first stroke change, Jade Reed for City of Norwich leading this one in lane 4. Flanked by Daisy Stimpson and Emily Howlett, just a metre or so behind on the backstroke. Emily starting to challenge for the lead now, only half a metre in it. It's going to be very close as they go through the turn onto the breaststroke. Jade just holding on to that lead as they go into the turn. Jade's lead about a metre from Emily Howlett, then Daisy Stimpson, also going well in lane 7. Verity Hamilton for Norwich Swan in 4th. Jade starting to pull away on the breaststroke now. You can see 2.5 metres as she heads away from us to the far end. Still very little between Emily Howlett and Daisy Stimpson. Jade going through the turn onto the freestyle, 2:16.35. Emily in 2nd, Daisy 3rd. And then Verity 4th, being chased by Eloise Collins of West Norfolk, 5th in lane 2. .20 metres to go for Jade Reed from City of Norwich. She's got a 4 or 5 metre lead. Jade's entry time for this event, 3:02.1. She's going to be under 3 minutes, so she comes into complete in 2:56.54. Second going to Emily Howlett for Norwich Swan. And at the touch, Verity Hamilton, also for Norwich Swan, taking 3rd. Event 606, the girls 200 individual medley, heat number 4. Referee.
Lane 1, Erin Woodrow for West Norfolk. Swimming in lane 2, Poppy Malcolmson for Dereham. Abigail Nichols occupies lane 3 for... Oh, wrong ones. Yep. Olivia Greenall then, lane 1 for Great Yarmouth. Lily Morrell for lane 2, Norwich Swans. Katrina Sutika Tublina for West Norfolk in lane 3. Chloe Bellamy for West Norfolk in lane 4. Caris Neil Gourlay for Thetford, lane 5. Charlize Harding, Norwich Swan, lane 6. Sienna Gilman, Norwich Swan, lane 7. And at Norwich Swan, Bethany Rumsby in lane 8.
So see Chloe Bellamy leading this one as they go through onto the breaststroke. Second is Sienna Gilman. So it is Chloe Bellamy in lane 4 leading. The battle is for second. Lilia Burgoyne for Great Yarmouth in 1. Lily Morrell for Norwich Swan in lane 2. Also Charlize Harding in lane 6 turning actually in second. Then it's Caris, then Lily, then Sienna on their way back on the freestyle. Charlize Harding strip swimming very strongly on the freestyle. She's leading by about a metre with 10 to go. Chloe Bellamy fighting hard, but I think it's going to go to lane 6, Charlize Harding. For Norwich Swan, she comes in to complete in 2:48.59. Second, Chloe Bellamy in lane 4, and third goes to Sienna Gilman. Event 606, the girls 200 individual medley, heat number 5. Referee.
Lane 1, Erin Woodrow for West Norfolk. Lane 2, Poppy Malcolmson for Dereham. 3, Abigail Nichols for City of Norwich. Lane 4, Hannah Twells for Thetford. Lane 5, Lillian Wolfew for Dereham. Lane 6, Victoria Marchinek for West Norfolk. 7, Emily Pitcher for Norwich Swan. And in lane 8, Isabella Green for City of Norwich.
And I have a disqualification report for you. Event 606, heat 2, lane 1 for a technical infraction. So Emily Pitcher for Norwich Swan going well in lane 7. She's first through the turn onto the backstroke. Hannah Twells second, Isabella third. Emily extending her lead on the backstroke. Erin Woodrow going strongly for West Norfolk over the far side in lane 1, now in second. But at the 100-metre turn, it is Emily Pitcher. Over she goes onto the breaststroke. Erin Woodrow being pressed hard now by Hannah Twells as they change onto the breaststroke 2. Fourth is Vicky Marchinek. Isabella now in 5th, and Poppy Malcolmson in 6th. Erin, Hannah and Emily pretty much in a line as they go down to the 150-metre turn onto the freestyle. Looks like it's just might be Hannah. Yes, it is, ahead of Emily. Erin now in 3rd, then Isabella in 4th. Coming back on the freestyle. Emily Pitcher easing away a little on this freestyle leg. 15 metres to go. She's a couple of metres clear now of Hannah Twells for Thetford in lane 4. Erin Woodrow over the far side in 3rd, and Isabella Green still battling hard, but at the touch it is Emily Pitcher for Norwich Swan, 2:42.98. Second in lane 4 goes to Hannah Twells, and Erin Woodrow just holding on for 3rd over the far side in lane 1. Event 606, the girls 200 individual medley, heat number 6. Referee.
In lane 1, we have Chloe Liddell for West Norfolk. Lane 2, Zoe Land for Great Yarmouth. Holly Rigby in lane 3 for Great Yarmouth. Abigail Riches, lane 4 for Norwich Swan. Isla Hamilton, lane 5 for Norwich Swan. In lane 6, Rosa Hammond for City of Norwich. Esme Kidman's in lane 7 for West Norfolk. And in lane 8, Valentina Davies-Hayward for City of Norwich.
Another close one, lanes 2 and 5 through the turn onto the backstroke pretty much together. That's Zoe Land and Isla Hamilton. Isla easing away a little on the backstroke leg. Holly Rigby, Abby Riches and Rosa Hammond all chasing hard in that battle for third. Esme Kidman moving up as well, going well on the backstroke. But at the 100-metre mark it is Isla Hamilton in lane 5 for Norwich Swan. Over she goes onto the breaststroke. Esme Kidman in second. Have another disqualification report for you. Event 606, heat 4, lane 7 for a technical infraction. And on the breaststroke leg, although Isla's out in front, it is Zoe Land for Great Yarmouth in lane 2, making inroads, clear in second now. Chasing Isla down. She won't catch her on the breaststroke leg, but she will be clear in second as they go through the turn onto the freestyle. 2:02.14 for Isla. Zoe in second now, 2:06. And through the turn, third place is Esme Kidman with Rosa Hammond, Abby Riches and Holly Rigby, all pretty much in a line. But it is 25 metres to go for Isla Hamilton from Norwich Swan. She's 4 or 5 metres clear of Zoe Land. Isla's going to take the heat. Her entry time of 2:42.15. She goes just a whisker under 2:40. Zoe Land coming in to take second, and a good freestyle leg sees Esme Kidman taking third for West Norfolk. Event 606, the girls 200 metre individual medley, heat number 7, referee.
Lane 1, Madison Brock for Norwich Swans. In lane 2, Mabel Gigg for City of Norwich. Lane 3, Emma Malcolm for Thetford. Caitlin Richardson in lane 4 for Norwich Swan, and Francesca Salmon for Norwich Swan in lane 5. Lane 6, Thea Irvine for Dis Otters. Lane 7, Ellie Smith for City of Norwich. And completing the lineup, lane 8, Ruby Chapman for Norwich Swan.
So first through the turn, Emma Malcolm for Thetford Dolphins in lane 3, going on to the backstroke. Madison Brock in second and Mabel Gigg in third. Ellie Smith going very strongly on the backstroke indeed in lane 7, moving through to take the lead. Mabel in second, just a whisker ahead of Emma Malcolm in third. Ruby Chapman for Norwich Swan also going well in lane 8. Over onto the backstroke. Sorry, I do apologise. Onto the breaststroke. It is Ellie Smith leading. And I have another disqualification report for you. Event 606, Heat 5, Lane 2, for a technical infraction. And also just to remind everyone, we still have this lost Fitbit with us. If anyone has lost a black one, it is, well, I think it's a Fitbit. It is just a small black armband. If you want to come and claim it, please do. Still very tight at the front, going through onto the freestyle now. Ellie Smith leading from in lane 4. Caitlin Richardson second. Emma Malcolm now in third. Ruby Chapman in fourth. Ellie only a metre or so clear of Caitlin. Caitlin starting to challenge now. There's 15 metres to go. It's going to be very close at the finish. Ruby Chapman also coming through for Norwich Swan, now in third. They're going to come into the final 5. Looks like Ellie might just hold on to take it, and she does. Dead heat for second place. Caitlin and Ruby both on 2:42.57. Fourth going to Emma Malcolm. And so we have the final heat of event 606, the girls 200 metre individual medley. Introducing your swimmers. In lane 1 for Norfolk Vikings, Leah Harris. In lane 2 for Norwich Swan, Amara Addison. In lane 3 for West Norfolk, Sarah O'Brien. In lane 5 for City of Norwich, Grace Greenhalgh. In lane 6 for City of Norwich, Charlotte Abramson. In lane 7 for Norwich Swan, Daisy Mixer. And in lane 8 for Thetford Dolphins, Alice Facey. And apologies to Katie Andrews for Norwich Swan in lane 4. Swimmers, you are under referee's control. So off we go. Amara Addison for Norwich Swan, our very early leader. Over the far side in lane 2. She goes through the turn onto the backstroke, 31.55. Second, Katie Andrews. Third, Sarah O'Brien. Very close at the turn onto the breaststroke. Katie Andrews and Amara Addison dead heat, 1:11.17. Grace Greenhalgh now third. Charlotte Abramson fourth. And we can see Katie Andrews moving ahead by a metre or so, but starting to come through in lane 3, Sarah O'Brien. Sarah looking to challenge for second. Also, Grace Greenhalgh very strong on the breaststroke as well, moving up to join that battle. Final turn though for Katie Andrews onto the freestyle. Grace Greenhalgh making enough up to become second. Dead heat for third by Amara Addison and Sarah O'Brien as they turn onto the freestyle. Katie Andrews with a couple of metres over Grace Greenhalgh. Grace pushing hard. Don't know whether she's quite going to do it. There's 10 metres to go. Katie Andrews for Norwich Swan. Looks like she's going to take this heat. And she comes in 2:29.32. Grace Greenhalgh taking second. Amara Addison taking third. And so we move on to event 607, which is the boys 100 backstroke, heat number 1. Referee.
Just 3 swimmers to watch then. In lane 3, James Marshall for City of Norwich. Lane 4, Thomas Elsden for West Norfolk. And in lane 5, Benjamin Eastwood for Dis Otters.
So this event will be swum in a total of 9 heats. I would guess we'll be looking for a finish for this morning's session round about 11:45. So on their way back now, Thomas Elsden leading by a very narrow margin over from Ben Eastwood. James Marshall just a metre or so behind. Ben starting to pull clear in this second 50. Into the final 5 metres, and it is in lane 5, Ben Eastwood for Dis Otters, who takes the heat in 1:37.72. Thomas Elsden for West Norfolk second, and James Marshall completing the heat. Well done, swimmers. Event 607, the boys 100 backstroke, heat number 2. Referee.
Toby Turner, lane 1 for West Norfolk, lane 2, Lawrence Taylor for City of Norwich. In lane 3, Jericho Mercado for Norwich Swan, Tobias Anderson, lane 4 for City of Norwich. Next to him, lane 5, Ricardo Di Maria for City of Norwich, and Archie Solomon in lane 6 for City of Norwich. Completing the lineup, lane 7, Roman Joseph for Dis Otters.
Good start from Lawrence Taylor for City of Norwich in lane 2, leading into the turn. Toby and Jericho flanking him just a metre either side. Over he goes, 45.63. At the turn, it's actually Tobias Anderson in second, then Jericho Mercado and Toby Turner. "25 metres to go. It's now Jericho Mercado who is our leader. Lawrence in second. Tobias Anderson in lane 4 in third. Five metres to go. Jericho's got this one in the bag and he comes in to complete the heat. 1:34.56. Just at the touch, Lawrence Taylor taking second, Toby Anderson in third and Archie Solomon in fourth. Event 607, the boys 100 backstroke, heat number 3. Referee.
Here's the lineup for Heat 3 then. Lane 1, James O'Toole for City of Norwich. Lane 2, Alexander Pattison for West Norfolk. Lane 3, Jacob Jenkins for Norwich Swan. In lane 4, Enzo Casanica for City of Norwich. Lane 5, Patricus Garovavicius for City of Norwich. Lane 6, Theo Ryan for West Norfolk. 7, Jake Maguire for City of Norwich. And Samuel Liddell in lane 8 for West Norfolk.
So through the turn, it is actually James O'Toole for City of Norwich leading, Alex Patterson second, Jacob Jenkins third, Enzo Casanica in fourth. Only just a second separating those swimmers. It is going to be fairly close as they come into the final 10 metres. James O'Toole just edging it, but Enzo Casanica finishing strongly, and Jake Maguire for City of Norwich as well. Coming into the touch, Enzo taking it, dead heat in second between Jake Maguire and James O'Toole, and Jacob Jenkins taking fourth. Event 607, the boys 100 backstroke, heat number 4. Referee.
Michael Sayer is in lane 1 for Norfolk Vikings. Lane 2, Ewan Hammond for City of Norwich. Lane 3, Jan Beblett for Great Yarmouth. And Archie Harris-Joy for Great Yarmouth in lane 4. In 5, Christian Payne for Thetford. Lane 6, Joseph Covington for City of Norwich. In lane 7, Rowan Carter for City of Norwich. And lane 8, Edward Allman for Thetford.
So Archie Harris-Joy looks like our leader for Great Yarmouth going through the turn. Over he goes, 40.03. Jan Bablo second, Christian Payne third. Archie pulling a little clear on the backstroke leg, just a metre or so from Christian Payne for Dolphins in second. Clear in third is Jan Bablo, also for Great Yarmouth in lane 3. On the touch, he takes it in 1:22.12 for Archie. Christian Payne taking second. And Jan Bablo taking third. Event 607, the boys 100 backstroke, heat number 5. Referee.
Lane 1, Kieran Nelson swims for Great Yarmouth. In lane 2, Nathan Ruggles for Thetford. In lane 3, Adam Houston for Norwich Swans. Lane 4, Dominic Trowell for Thetford. Lane 5, Elliot Barkway for Dis Otters. In lane 6, Joshua Taylor for Dereham. Lane 7, Zach Montgomery for Norwich Swan. And in lane 8, Benjamin Tennant for West Norfolk.
And I have another disqualification report for you. Event 607, Heat 2, Lane 6 for a technical infraction.
Do it myself. Run out of people. Oh no.
So Kieran Nelson for Great Yarmouth in lane 1, battling hard with Elliot Barkway for Dis Otters in lane 5. Dominic Trowell and Zach Montgomery battling hard for third. Also Ben Tennant going well. But coming into the final 5, it looks like it's Elliot who's just going to take it. And he does in 1:21.63. Second goes to Zach Montgomery. Kieran Nelson taking third. Event 607, the boys 100 backstroke, heat number 6, referee.
Heat 6, Lane 1, Austin Taylor for City of Norwich. Lane 2, Daniel Grimmer for West Norfolk. 3, Nathan Yeaman for West Norfolk. And in Lane 4, John Barber for Dis Otters. Lane 5, Thomas Garnett for West Norfolk. Lane 6, Harvey Durham for Thetford. Lane 7, Travis Vlotman for City of Norwich. And in Lane 8, Noah Blair for Dis Otters.
Start tearing him up soon. Yeah, that's what I need.
And another disqualification report for you. Event 607, Heat 4, Lane 6 for a technical infraction.
Thank you so much.
So Lane 3, Nathan Yeaman for West Norfolk leading this one, just ahead of his teammate Thomas Garner in Lane 5. Coming into the final 5, Nathan is going to take it. Second goes to Thomas Garnett. In third in Lane 4 to John Barber. Event 607, the boys 100 backstroke, heat number 7. Referee.
This is going to be a close run swim. Lane 1, Oscar Hunter. Lane 2, James Clark for City of Norwich. Henry Mann for Norwich Swan in Lane 3. Benedict Measures for Thetford in Lane 4. Lane 5, Thomas Ellis for Dereham. Lane 6, Nadas Jakenko for West Norfolk. Jack Tate in Lane 7 for City of Norwich. Lane 8, Alexander Patterson for City of Norwich. Said it was going to be tight, and it's remaining so. They're all pretty well bunched together. Let's see who's first to take the turn then at the 50-metre mark. And that will be Lane 1, Oscar Hunter, then Lane 2 and Lane 3. They're coming in exact numerical order. And on the return now, it's going to be challenged, though, by Lane 6. Lane 7's close as well. It is going to be a very close run thing. But Lane 3, Henry Mann, seems to have the lead now as we're coming up to the 5-metre mark. It is Henry Mann just ahead of James and Oscar as they touch. It's Henry Mann who is first to touch there in 1 minute 11.4 seconds. Oscar in lane 1, 1:12 and 1:13 for James Clark in third. I told you it was going to be tight.
Event 607, the boys 100 backstroke, heat number 8. Referee.
Heat 8 then, and lane 1 we have Thomas Small for Norwich Swan, lane 2 Harvey Isle for West Norfolk, lane 3 Castle Gallindays for City of Norwich, lane 4 Robert Addis for West Norfolk, lane 5 Jake Lammas for West Norfolk. Then we got Ben Allen, lane 6 for City of Norwich, Milo Milton, City of Norwich in lane 7, and in lane 8 Archie Holman for West Norfolk. Halfway then, 50 metres. First in lane 1, Thomas Small. Harvey's Isle in lane 2 in second place. In third place, Milo Milton. With about 25 metres to go then, the push is on. And again, another of those close finishes with Thomas Small just about holding on to that lead, but it's being challenged by Harvey Isle. And there's Robert Addis, in fact, quite a challenge on now for that final few yards. As we touch, it's impossible to tell. Let's see what the final scoreboard tells us. Thomas Small then, first in 108.83. Second, Harvey Isle for 109. And in third at 109, just 1/100th of a second behind. To take third is Jake Lammas.
And so we have the final race of this morning's session, event 607, the boys 100 backstroke, introducing your swimmers. In lane 1, representing West Norfolk, Tobias Oglesby. In lane 2 for Norwich Swan, Manuka Jayakodi. In lane 3 for City of Norwich, Jack Eden. In lane 4 for West Norfolk, Nathan Wells. In lane 5 for City of Norwich, Joseph McGillivray. In lane 6 for Norwich Swan, Ben Woodhouse. Lane 7 for West Norfolk is Sam Rose. And in lane 8 for Dis Otters, it's Matthew Tatum. Swimmers, you are under referee's control. And I have another disqualification report for you, event 607, heat 5, lane 2, for a technical infraction. So off we go, Nathan immediately pulling clear in lane 4, heading down to the far end. Long underwater section from Nathan there, leading by 2 or 3 metres from Tobias in lane 1. Also in lane 5, Joe McGillivray challenging for second. But it is final 5 metres for Nathan Wells from West Norfolk. He comes in to take the heat. Coming in to take second in lane 1 is Tobias Oglesby, and Joe McGillivray taking third. Right, that concludes this morning's session. Thank you very much. Officials, you can now leave the poolside, go and find some lunch. To all swimmers, coaches and team managers, warm up for this afternoon session starts at 12:15.